crazy. So
That
crazy.
is crazy. Yeah.
So tonight I wanted to talk about mindset around fitness and exercise. I think mindset is kind of a big deal with anything. Our mindset controls a lot of what we do. And I mean, we know that it plays a role in nutrition. It plays a role in fitness. It plays a role in every aspect. If we're trying to achieve something, our mindset going into that is definitely going to either get us to where we want to go, or it's going to hold us back. And so mindset around fitness I don't think it's talked about a whole lot. I know we did, Christy covered it at the beginning of the year of how we talk to ourselves. So a lot of us have a bad habit of saying, I'm not a runner, or, and I'm guilty of that too. I just kind of jumped on the bandwagon of saying I'm not a runner, which is not true. Like, I do like certain aspects of running. I love to sprint. I'm a sprinter, but I don't enjoy long distance running. Can I do it? Am I capable? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Not so much. Marlena, she is a runner, right?
Yes, she is.
And she enjoys it. So I think that's the difference between saying I'm not a runner. I mean, if a bear was chasing me, I would run. Does that make me a runner? I don't know, but I am capable of running. As with anyone else,
runner.
It's survival, right? You're going to run. So you can't say I'm not a runner, because if you were in a survival mode, you would run. Yeah. It's just more of like, I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy weightlifting, where maybe Marlena, I don't know Marlena, but maybe Marlena's like, I love running, but I don't enjoy strength training. It doesn't mean that she's not a weightlifter. She can be a weightlifter. She can lift weights. It just may not be her cup of tea. So we have to rephrase how we talk to ourselves, and how we communicate with others, because we tend to say negative things about ourselves to other people. And so we just have to be mindful. And sometimes we don't mean to. I'll find myself in a group of people, and they'll be talking about all their negativities about themselves, and I'll just follow suit and I'll say something negative about myself, instead of stopping them and just being like, say something positive about yourself. What do you enjoy? So we have to be a little bit more mindful of the conversations that are going around us, and then how can we switch that conversation to a positive. So when it comes to your fitness, do you go into the gym and you're like, I don't feel like working out today? That's something that we can change. It's okay if you don't feel like working out. I walked in the gym and I was like, I don't feel like working out, but I'm going to do a 5-minute warm up. And then I'm going to do a body assessment and see how I feel. And usually after that 5 minutes, I've created enough movement and momentum and motivation that I continue with my workout. But you have to get past that mental block first. And it's usually saying, I don't feel like this, but I'm going to do this little bit to create momentum. And so is that easy to do? No, because all we can focus on is, I don't want to. And I mean, and that goes for anything, not just fitness. I hear my kids all the time, I don't want to do school. I'm like, I know you don't want to, but just start doing it for 5 minutes. And then you'll get into a groove and you'll want to keep going and you'll want to finish it. It's almost like playing a mental game with yourself of, convincing yourself to just do a little bit, and then you'll find that momentum to keep going. And I don't know if you've heard this saying, but it's not your body that you have to convince to keep going. It's your mind that you have to convince to keep going. And it is so true. Our mind is what holds us back. And so if we can just learn to rewire our thoughts of taking our negatives and turning it into a positive, we could do so much more, and we could progress so much more. But it takes practice. Like with anything, it's a habit. And some people are really good at turning their negative thoughts into positive. And some people struggle with it because it's not a habit that they've been doing. So I'm curious, like, do you guys catch yourselves talking negatively to yourself? And do you try to turn around to a positive? Or is that just not a habit that you do?
usually first thing in the morning, if I don't like what I have on, I'll talk negatively and then just either change, which I don't, normally I set out my clothes the night before. So I don't know. I think there's always, you look in the mirror and, it's like, oh, I don't like this or something, but I don't dwell on it because I guess I have the opinion that life is too short. So you have to enjoy the moments. And I don't know, life is fun right now.
That's good.
So it is good, but Fitme has helped a lot with that. I mean, I might not like where I'm at, but I know I'm growing and changing and moving. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like how Christy, she's done a lot of growing herself over the past years. And she's been able to take that and give it to us. And I think it's so important whenever a nutrition program comes about or a fitness program comes about, you also talk about the mindset aspect of it. Because a lot of us have a very closed mindset. And we really want more of a growth mindset. How can we improve? How can we improve our way of thinking? Because like I said, it's going to help you in so many different aspects of life that you don't even realize that it would help you in marriage, friendships, how we talk to strangers, everyday life, how we talk to our kids, how we hear it. Like for me, I pick up on my kids, their negativity. And it's like, well, did they get their negative talk from me or from their friends? And how can I help them switch that positive, that negative into a positive? So I love that Christy has implemented mindset into her program.
Yeah. And she just has unbelievable insight in things that I would never have seen without her opening my eyes, even with coffee talk. Her coffee talks are just mind-blowing sometimes. And it's just like, wow.
Yeah. And she puts things in a different perspective that it's like, I wouldn't have thought of it in that way. Or, she always has great insight.
Yeah, she does. She does.
So, like, where do you come up with this stuff? I mean, and a lot of it is from just life experience or working with clients and working through them. But it's like, still, she's young, but to have that much wisdom and knowledge and to put it into a perspective. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a true gift.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about you, Marlena? I know you probably can't talk.
I'll talk. I'm just not gonna put camera on. I think for me, mindset comes with the season and it changes with the season. I was talking to Coach Leah about this, that when I set a goal, I really focus on that goal and completing the goal. So if it's a running goal, that's like my season and I feel really good about it. But everything else, like the strength training and all that, I get kind of negative about that. And then, when it's a different season and I'm working on something else, I start getting a little bit negative about the running or whatever, And so for me, I think it's seasonal, but I've always told myself when it comes to strength training that I don't have any upper body strength. And so I tend to shy away from those exercises because they're hard and they hurt and they're just really hard for me. And so I'll focus more on lower body. I feel stronger that way. And so I do more of those exercises. And I know it's kind of, you got to work the upper body if you ever want it to be strong. But that kind of dialogue is in my head. And so when it comes to like push-ups or even just like lifting heavy weight over my head, it's hard for me and it hurts. And so I tend to kind of ignore those exercises more.
Yeah. And that's common. I struggle with that too. Upper body is not my favorite. And that's the thing. We tend to gravitate more to the things that we enjoy. I enjoy lower body because I can lift heavier with my lower body. Push-ups and pull-ups are not my favorite. And I have to modify a lot. And it can be discouraging sometimes because you're like, I'm always having to modify something. And yes, it can be discouraging. However, I've learned to look at it as, this is where I'm starting. I can't wait to see how in like 3 months where I'll be. Or I can't wait to see in a year from now, if I stay consistent, where will I be? Will I still be doing push-ups on a bench or on my knees? Or will I be able to do 20 push-ups on my toes? Like I try to look at the journey and see, okay, how am I? And sometimes I don't progress very far, and that's okay. But I still always go back and try to look at the journey and saying, I can't wait to see how much I will improve in X amount of time.
Yeah.
I modify a lot of exercises just because I'm older and I don't have that strength. Or I think one of my exercises today was a broad jump.
Mm-hmm.
While with my knees, I don't jump because I want to be able to walk for a very long time, for the rest of my life. And I broke my kneecap like 36 years ago. So there's, arthritis has been scraped out of it. So I'm very cognizant of exercises where I have to jump.
Yeah.
But, I modified it. I took a long step and kind of sort of jumped with one foot.
Yeah.
So, or leaped, So.
I mean, and things like that, it's okay. I know at times it could be discouraging, but you also have to look at the long run. Like as you get older, there are some things that you just can't do, and that's okay. Yeah. Or if you need to modify it, that's okay. But I know there are some people who get stuck on that. I've seen so many people like, well, I can't do this, so that I'm just not going to do anything. I'm like, well, that's not the answer. You got to try and do what you can do. Yeah. Even if it means modifying. And Terry, you're a great example of that, of, continuing to keep going, even if you have to modify.
Yeah. And I don't want to compare, but you always tend to compare. Mm-hmm. And, women my age, I'm in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and hopefully my younger 3 kids will give me grandkids. So I want to be strong enough and healthy enough to play with them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I think Nicole Hall was saying on the Sunday call, she wants to be fit enough to run after a 3-year-old. So I remember those days, and I had fast little ones. So sometimes I could catch up with them, and sometimes I couldn't.
They're quick, and you
they are quick.
They're quick. Yeah. And Marlena, I totally understand, like, as you go through the seasons, if you have a goal of running but again, it goes back, I think, to like, that's what you enjoy and you're excited about that goal, which I think is awesome. So if you have a running goal and you're excited about that goal, yes, your focus is going to be all on that. And it's almost like you have enough energy to focus on your running goal, but the energy, you don't really have a whole lot of energy to focus on the strength training goal because all of your energy wants to go to the running goal. And so, yes, the strength training is going to take a little more effort with your mind of trying to push through that to do it. But I think we all go through that. I think we all have seasons of we're excited about one goal. And even though we have this over here, we don't really want to do it, but we try and do it anyways.
I think we have a questionnaire we have to fill out. And what's one physical goal you want to achieve in the next 6 months to a year? And I'm going, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I had trouble with that one too.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it's like, I don't know, what do I really want to do? So I put down, I'll tell you what I put down.
Yeah.
I put down that I want to be able to do a push-up because I can't do a real push-up. I can do a modified push-up. I'm probably not doing it correctly, but but I would like to do eventually a real push-up on the ground and the right way. But like, it's really, really hard for me. But I think that's something I would eventually want to do. I don't know about a year, but maybe that's long enough. not 6 months. But something like that, I think I would never want to do a pull-up. I have nightmares of that from elementary school.
I know. I was thinking back, and because I made the presidential club, like, every year or whatever, and I think I got the bare minimum on the pull-ups. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's a tough one. I can't even jump up to get there to stay. So yeah, I don't know about pull-ups. So
yeah.
I struggled with that, which I haven't filled out mine. Thank you for reminding me. I have to fill mine out for Molly. But I was thinking about it today, and I struggle because there's different things that I want. I want to be able to be strong. Like, I miss lifting heavy, of like having a 220-pound back squat, or a 280-pound, 90-pound deadlift, like,
oh my gosh.
I miss being that strong. But then I also realize, like, I'm not at a point in my life right now to go there. Like, I have really no purpose for that right now. Right now I need more of endurance and muscle endurance. And so I feel torn, because it's like, I want that strength, but I also know that's not what I need right now in life. I need endurance. So I chose to do an endurance strength program. And I'm just going to have to be okay with that, because that is what is going to benefit me right now in life. And I feel my body feels better. My joints feel better when I do endurance versus strength. When I pack on the muscle and the strength, I become stiffer because I don't focus on mobility, and my joints hurt more.
Yeah.
So I have to remember that, like, there is a consequence for me and my body going heavy because I don't put a lot of effort into mobility and taking care of stretching and flexibility. Then that is going to be a hindrance if I try to keep going with strength in that aspect. So, yeah.
I'm going to have to think about my goal, because I really don't know. So,
yeah, it's a good question though.
Yeah, it's a great question.
And it could be, and gosh, it could be anything, it doesn't necessarily, it could be like, so a year for she said 6 months from now, or a year?
6 months to a year.
12.
Yeah.
So what would that be in 6 months? October? No, we're in November.
Well, we're November, December, January, February, March, April. So it's still cold.
I was going to say, is there any outdoor things that you could do? But that's going to be cold still.
Yeah. Well, I'll go to Florida for 4 of those months.
True.
But yeah, and we can't take our bikes because there's no bike route close by. So we'll just leave our bikes here, which I'm kind of bummed. So it'll probably be just walking and doing strength training stuff.
Is there?
And I think for me, like, when that question that she said, what does fitness mean to you? Like, these goals of being able to do whatever, a push-up, a pull-up, whatever. Like, overall, I wouldn't say that's like a big goal of mine. My goal with fitness is just to be able to do like the things that I love to do. So like the running, I want to be able to, run a 5K if I want to run a 5K without having to train so many months for it. Or I want to be able to hike a mountain and, know that I'm not going to be injured, or, those kind of things. I think at my age, those are more important goals than, doing a pull-up or whatever, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like just being able to do things and do it without feeling like it's killing you.
Yeah.
One of the things I noticed in Washington when we went running, me and Jamie and Molly went for a run, and we did it in intervals, 2-mile run. I mean, a 2-minute run and then a 1-minute walk. And one thing I noticed is that they were able to carry a conversation while they were running, and I was not. And I was like, I feel like I do well running, but I can't carry a conversation when I'm doing it. And I was like, that would be a good goal for me, is to be able to somewhat carry a conversation while running. But I don't know. Those kind of things are the things that I notice whenever I'm doing some kind of activity.
Oh, wow. I would just hope to breathe if I was running.
Yeah, they would ask me a question. I was like, oh, please don't ask me one question.
Yeah. I have a friend who's the same way. She's like a marathon runner, and she loves doing the 5Ks and the 10Ks, and she can talk and run. And I'm like, please don't talk to me, because you're going to get like breath, a word, and then breath, a word. And by that time, it's like, you're not even going to understand what I'm saying. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that's a good goal, Marlena. I think that is something, because that would show you that your stamina has improved and your breathing has improved.
Yeah.
And you've come so far, I mean, since this summer. I mean, you got to be proud of yourself.
I am.
You must be home. Are you home?
Yeah. In my car, just quiet.
Or is it
this loud car? Yeah.
Oh, goodness. But this summer, I mean, how many runs did you do? 75?
75.
I mean, that's amazing.
You did 75 runs?
75 1-mile runs. So I would wake up and run.
You had a study for, yeah.
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 Wow.
I mean, that's a great accomplishment.
It was something that I think I just had to take the thought out of it. I would just roll out of bed, put on my shoes, and go. Because if I sat there and thought about it, and the same goes with getting up at 4 a.m. to do my strength training. You know, if I think about it, I'm going to talk myself out of it. And so I've just kind of started doing, you know, the little actions that it takes to get into the garage. And then once I'm there, I'm fine. If I'm dressed and everything, and my shoes are on, then I'm good and I'll do it. But
yeah, I've actually
can't think about it.
No, I've actually gotten to the point where I don't change into my workout clothes. I just do it in my jeans and whatever shirt I have on. Because if I have to think about that, because I usually do it in the afternoons, it won't get done.
Yeah.
So I just do it in my jeans.
It's like the Nike slogan, just do it.
Yeah.
I just tell myself, don't think, just go.
Yeah.
And I even have to repeat that. I'm like, just go. And I'll just tell myself that because then it won't allow any other thoughts to come in.
Right.
And I just put my clothes on real quick and put my shoes on and go out into the garage. Cause sometimes I will talk myself out of it if you think about it too much.
This morning, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of tired. I don't think I'm going to do that. You know, daylight savings time. And I'm like,
you have all these excuses that
and then I started chopping up my veggies and I was going to cook my protein, but I'll do that tomorrow. And I just went downstairs and got it done.
Yeah.
So Marlena, I did my workout.
Good job.
She's my accountability partner. So, yeah, you just got to do it.
Yeah, just got to do it. Well, ladies, it is now time to say goodbye. But it was a fun chat.
Yeah, it was.
Marlena, I'm glad you made it home safely.
Yes.
I don't know, the check engine light went on while I
Oh,
was
no.
driving, so
No, that's
I
not a
hope
good
it's not
thing.
important.
'Tis the season, huh?
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right. Thank you, Samantha.
You're welcome. Have a good night, ladies.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.